Hello, everyone. In today's lesson, we will study the selection and procurement of purchased equipment. The selection of purchased equipment is the process of technical and economic analysis, evaluation, and comparison. It aims to choose the best option from multiple models and specifications that meet the same production needs. Equipment selection is extremely important. Some equipment in enterprises may have no inherent defects, but it becomes less effective over time, often due to improper initial selection. Therefore, well-considered equipment selection ensures that investments achieve maximum technical and economic benefits. Otherwise, the results may be counterproductive. The principles that should be followed in equipment selection are as follows. First, fitness for purpose. The selected equipment should meet the actual production process requirements of the enterprise's current and planned products. Only suitable equipment ensures smooth production and maximizes investment benefits. Second, technological advancement. Given fitness for purpose, the equipment should aim to achieve maximum economic efficiency. It should not pursue advanced technology blindly without considering the specific context and actual needs of the enterprise. At the same time, avoid choosing obsolete equipment that may result in low-efficiency operation. Third, economic rationale. Simply put, choose equipment with the best cost-effectiveness. In practice, fitness for purpose, technological advancement, and economic rationale should be balanced or reasonably weighted to determine the optimal choice. The issues to consider when selecting purchased equipment include: first, productivity. Equipment productivity is generally represented by output per unit time. Productivity should align with enterprise policies, plant planning, production schedules, transportation and technical capacity, labor, power supply, and raw material availability. Blindly pursuing higher productivity can lead to production imbalances and service issues. This not only prevents the equipment from reaching its full efficiency, but it can also lead to losses. Second, process compliance. The ability of equipment to meet production process requirements is its process capability. For example, cutting machines should ensure dimensional accuracy, geometric and positional precision, and surface quality. Heating equipment should meet maximum and minimum temperature requirements with precise control. In addition to the basic requirements, the operational control of the equipment is also very important. Equipment operation and control should be simple, flexible, and preferably automated to support high-capacity production. For equipment used in toxic or hazardous operations, automatic or remote monitoring and control capabilities are essential. Third, reliability. When selecting equipment for reliability, a longer mean time between failures is preferred. This can be analyzed in terms of design safety factors, redundancy, environmental tolerance, component stability, fault protection, and human factors, ergonomics. Fourth, maintainability. Factors affecting maintainability include accessibility, inspectability, durability, ease of disassembly, standardization, and interchangeability of parts. Material quality and manufacturing processes, personnel safety, special tools, spare parts availability, and the quality of the manufacturer's support services. Fifth, economic efficiency. The equipment should have low initial investment, high productivity, long service life, low energy and material consumption, minimal maintenance and management costs, and reduced labor requirements. Sixth, safety. Equipment should have necessary and reliable safety protection devices to prevent personal injury and economic loss. For new protective components, test and usage reports must be provided. Seventh, operability. Equipment should be easy, safe, and reliable to operate. Specifically, the operating mechanisms and their positions should comply with the requirements of labor protection laws and be suitable for operators of average body size. The design must consider operators' physiological limits. It must ensure that, within legally allowed working hours, operators are not exposed to forces, work rhythms, movement speeds, or endurance demands beyond their physical capacity. The equipment and its operational design should also help reduce mental fatigue. Eighth, environmental protection. Select equipment that minimizes noise and harmful emissions, meeting standards for health and environmental protection. After selection, procurement can begin. The ordering process differs for foreign and domestic procurement. Foreign procurement typically involves supplier identification, inquiry, quotation, negotiation, and order placement. Domestic procurement typically involves equipment requisition, planning or approval, negotiation, and order placement. All procurement requires a contract, which defines the rights and obligations of both parties, following applicable laws, regulations, and policies. International contracts must comply with relevant trade regulations. The contract must clearly define the responsibilities of both parties with precise wording. Matters that cannot be detailed in the contract itself can be included as supplementary annexes, which must also be signed and stamped by both parties. Upon arrival of equipment at the port, the owner should oversee the receipt and inspection of the goods, verify whether the quantity and description of the delivered goods match the contract, record any damage or missing items caused by transportation or unloading, and complete the necessary paperwork with the carrier's shipping company. In addition, upon receiving the delivery notification and documents, you should immediately begin preparations for customs clearance. In addition to completing the customs declaration forms as required, you must also prepare the following documents. First, delivery documents. Second, invoice and copies. Third, packing list. Fourth, purchase contract. Fifth, certificate of origin. Sixth, any other documents required by customs. For imported equipment or components, an inspection application must be submitted to the commodity inspection authorities and approved before unpacking, or customs personnel must participate in the on-site unpacking and inspection. The inspection includes the following. First, check packaging for damage. For exposed equipment, inspect for scratches, oil stains, and corrosion. Second, check the number and description of items against the contract and record them. Third, verify technical documents, accessories, special tools, diagnostic instruments, special cutting fluids, lubricants, and communication equipment against the contract. Fourth, during unpacking, verify that the actual items correspond to the purchase order or packing list. Check whether any damage to the equipment has occurred due to handling, transportation, or storage. If any damage is found, it should be kept in its original state and documented with photos or written records. Relevant personnel, including customs officers, should inspect the equipment on-site and complete the necessary procedures for on-site claim verification. That concludes today's lesson. Please complete the after-class exercises and review thoroughly.